Hey guys, welcome back to Bear's Workshop. We are going to do the live stream of the Lucid Factory for the 107th Flyover today. Welcome back, everybody. See, we got a couple people in chat already. We got Barry Schwartz here. Hello, Barry. How are you? And he thinks this is going to be an interesting one. Yeah, there's some things going on that are different. They got some things going on that we're going to talk about. And Octavio says, I hope this is not clickbait. I think that there are definitely some things going on. There's a lot of cars out there. And I'm going to let you guys count because my eyes are just too old for that. And Barry Schwartz says that I am never clickbait. I'm not. But I'm thinking about being clickbaity because I want to get more viewers. iMelt says the hello, and it sounds good. First, let's see. We still got an hour before the market closes, but we're going to quickly take a look at the stock price as we wait for more people to get on. Let's bring that up on the screen. And here we got Lucid for today. Let's see if we can fix that. I got a new mouse, and I got a new keyboard, and I got a new chair. And now I got to figure out how to work all of them at the same time. So yeah, if you guys ever noticed, my chair was like sitting like that. Got myself a new chair, so it was a good day. I'm still getting used to it. I got a new keyboard so I can actually type, and I'm sitting up higher. So totally feeling different. Can we see a sneak peek of a lot of cars? You see, if I do that, then no one's going to watch. So I can't do that, Barry. I am really sorry. But we'll get to it, and it won't be that long. So the stock price, we're sitting at 1909. It's up $1.06 for the day so far. It was as high as 1965, and it opened at 1811 with a close yesterday of 1803. So that looks pretty positive. It did get down as low as 1799 earlier today. I think that was towards the beginning of the day, and everything's been up from there. So that's looking good. Ellie is on. Oh, Ellie, my biggest fan. Hi, Bear, she says. Hi, Ellie. Missed you the last couple of episodes. Max Sorbo, EV startup Lucid froze its assembly line for a week in early June amid its ongoing struggle to ramp up production. Can you confirm that wouldn't be good for earnings? It, of course, wouldn't be because they need to get out 12 to 14,000 cars. But we're going to take a look at the video, and we'll get that started right now because I know Barry Schwartz is itching to see how many cars there are. But we're going to take a look at the construction is at the beginning part of the video, and then we get to the cars in about the middle. So it'll be about 10 minutes of video. You see we started off on the south end. The SKD building is looking pretty good. The big mega crane is in between the SKD building and the building to the north, which I think is the warehouse building, or I forget. So you can see they're getting those HVAC units up, and that thing's going to keep moving and go all the way around the site and get all that done. But they've got quite a few of them up, at least 20, maybe 25 of them. Let's see. Insider reported that, but I suspect the pause was way longer. Scheduled pause was for Air Pure, but the unscheduled stuff is worse. Yeah, there was a time over the last couple weeks in the beginning of June that I would say that there was not a lot of cars coming out of there. We are going to see a decent amount today, and I'll give a big hearty thank you to whoever pauses the video and counts it. Costs for EV raw materials are going down since late last year. I don't know about that, but I know a lot of stuff is going up. Here we can see the HVAC unit storage area. That whole area on the bottom of the screen was packed full of these AC units just last week, and they're moving them out. There was like 49 of them, I believe, that were there, but they are getting them up on that roof. Let's see here. Hey guys, we got about 50 people on, and we only got about 14 likes, so if you guys can do me a solid there and hit that like button, I'd really appreciate it. There's some more of those HVAC units in another spot. So there's Still plenty to go. That big crane's got a lot of work to do. Then you can see all this. This is all the staging area. This is the area that will become phase 3 once they complete phase 2, and they'll make another staging area where they're going to put all your equipment and supplies and tools and stuff like that, and then they'll start on phase 3. Remember, this phase 2 is 2.7 million square feet. It is very, very large. Avocados are expensive. Yes, they are. They're going up too. I'm waiting for the avocado shortage. I'm not a big fan of them, so I'm looking forward to them not being around. Over here you can see where all the docks are. There's guys working on the docks. There's guys working on the roof, bringing up materials. And they're still moving a lot of dirt around there. We've got some areas that are going to be retention basins right here. That's how they're dug out right now. But all this is going to be additional buildings to expand out. Peter says, I received my VIN May 13th with scheduled delivery 2 to 6 weeks. Got a letter mid-June saying all cars in my batch delayed due to fit and finish issues. They hope to deliver by the end of June, but no word yet. Yeah, we heard that there was a bunch pushed off till the end of June, and we are getting towards the end of June. But they got a lot of cars wrapped up, and they got a lot of cars out there. If you guys have watched some of the previous videos, we're seeing some cars that are missing some trim pieces just over the back glass, and it doesn't even look like it's missing it because it looks like the roof line goes straight into it, but it's hard to tell from our vantage point. So what do you guys think? Is that actually a new design, or are they just missing trim? Ellie doesn't like avocados either. You go, girl. Let's see. Barry Schwartz says by June 30th, so they have good things to say on the earnings call. Yeah, there's going to be a big jump to get that out. And by the way, Lucid was closed on June 19th for the new federal holiday. I was actually kind of surprised to see that. A little disappointed also. Nikola was working, and I know a lot of other factories were still working. But Lucid does seem to close for just about every holiday. They close for a day for Ramadan, and no offense, but we don't have a big Muslim population here. I mean, we've got plenty of people who are Muslim, but I didn't think it was worth it to close the factory unless the Saudi Arabians told them to. Maybe the kingdom did. Deb Miser, I've counted about 200 cars in the lot during the last flyover. I think there's a little bit more, or maybe it's how they moved them, because they had to pack them in pretty good, because they're building something in that parking lot, and it looks like a tent. Let's see. Peter says, I've been told that the fit and finish issues are trim related. Are they trim on the outside? That's what I'm curious about. So I know we've talked about it. No one seems to care as much as me, but it is what it is. There you can see the crane, and that is a lot of weight sitting there on the ground so that the thing doesn't fall over. Pretty impressive. I don't know how they're going to turn that thing, or if they're just going to keep moving it through, because I don't see how it works with, because when you turn it, that weight turns also. So I'm sure they've got everything planned out the way they need to. Muni says, hi Bear, got a letter that my Air Pure will be delivered by the end of the year, 2022. Means they're ramping up Pure production then. Any inputs, insights, please? And hey, JJ's here. We've seen cars that look like Pure cars. There's at least 2 in the lot right now. I didn't check every car, but I saw 2 white solid roof cars. So it's very possible. And honestly, if the Pure cars are the ones that they have the parts for, I don't see any reason not to get them out unless there's other reasons to hold it up. I know the cars don't pay them as much, but if you can't put out anything, something is better than nothing. I'm sure there's other factors to consider on something like that. Peter says, yes, outside trim. There's the AC units, and then these whatever these are that they're putting all around. We saw them down on the ground. I don't know if they're air vents or what, but they got them all over the place. They were on the ground. They look like barrels stacked all next to each other. But you can see how many HVAC units they've got up there now, because previous to that crane coming out, they had 5 up there. Barry Schwartz thinks that most of the orders are for the Pure. Mine is. But mine was put in recently, like in April, so I don't expect mine for a little bit. So Barry also said, yes, there's tons of quality issues with the cars delivered before mid-May, so they paused a lot, reset pre-delivery inspection. You know, the car that I was in at the end of May, which I would say that it was delivered before mid-May, just because there was so much custom work done on it. It was probably in the shop for several weeks. I didn't see any problems with that car as far as fit and finish or anything like that. Everything looked good. And that was a GT. Car looked real nice. Here we are flying north. That's obviously looking west, and we're on the east side. Left out south because there's nothing to say about that. That's where we're coming from. And this is the area where we can see some caissons in the ground over here, where my mouse is. Maybe hard for you guys to see, but there's caissons in there. That's going to lead to right over to here, to right there, right where my mouse is, and that's going to be where the cars are going to go into the paint shop, go from one building to the other. Here is our body in white building. They've gotten a lot of work done on that. As you can see, the frame is completely done, and they've got the roof decking up there. They got there's a temporary staircase. There's some roofing materials. I'm not sure what those are for. Those might be for the rails that they're putting on the outside to make sure people don't fall over. Then we've got some very large steel beams, which not sure if that's going to be for an overhead crane or what, but the body in white building is going to need things to lift up the bodies. Looking around here in the parts, you can see a lot of roof trellises. Over here, you know, I had originally thought it looked like they were putting some columns in, but I think those are racks of some sort to hold the roof trellises up, and maybe they're doing some additional welding or fitment to get them right, but it looks like they're holding up those roof trellises so that they can do additional work on them. We're going to take another look at that in a minute. Here's a little sneak peek. These are cars that were moved up to the front, and as you can see, they're sectioned off. A lot of them are covered. There's a fence there. But let's go back to it just for a second. Okay, there's a fence bordering all of these cars right here. Just like a temporary chain link fence. We've got the cars parked around here. Many of them are covered. Some of them are not. Not sure what they're doing, or maybe they're just trying to keep them out of the way. I would like to think that those are the completed cars. As we pan over, we see rows and rows of cars over here. We're going to go around and we're going to get a closer look here in a minute. And somebody can count. Melt says, like the video, it's free. Yes, guys, it costs you nothing, and there's 71 of you on here, and there's 35 likes. Come on, man. Hit the like button. Alright, we're now facing south. We are on the north side. We left the east side, and we're headed west. Got all the directions in there. Tesla's touting their new 4680 batteries. Does Lucid have something to show? I believe Lucid is still using like 2170s, and I think their technology that they're very proud of is not so much in their the size of the batteries, but how they are utilized using the motors and their battery management system and all the software that they use to actually get it going. Because they are listed as the most efficient EV car right now. So there's those roof trellises that I was just talking about a little bit ago. This almost looks like something to hold up these trellises, but I'm not 100% sure. So we'll just see what they're going to be doing with that. And you can see quite a bit of more large beams over here. Very heavy beams, and those are probably going for the stamping building, since they've been laid out right over there. But on our flyover on Monday, that looked the same as it does right now. So as far as those roof trellises. So we'll just have to wait and see what exactly that's for. All right, guys, you got up to 47 likes. That means 30 of you, at least 30 of you, are sitting there without hitting that like button. Though some of them may have hit the dislike button. Yeah, whatever. There's always going to be somebody. That's okay. All right, let's take a look at the cars. Barry, you still with us? Mr. Schwartz? All right, so there we got those cars up in the front. Let's pause this, take a quick look at them, go back a little bit. All right. We don't have fabulous quality on this because we're in the middle of our optical zoom, or I'm sorry, in the middle of the digital zoom. Let's see if we get a little closer. Nope. All right, but you can see all the cars lined up. The fence is right here. I don't know where the opening is. Doesn't really matter. But you can see about half these cars are covered. Probably about the same amount that was covered the other day. But as we start looking around, then we're going to come up, what is that? Okay, so they're building a tent, some sort of cover. I'm not really sure what the overall purpose of this is. I almost take a little bit of offense. Are they trying to hide the cars from us? But I don't think that's not worth the money. And also, I see risk if they're actually going to park cars in here. Driving a car through these openings every single time and then pulling them out just leaves them susceptible to damage. So I'm not sure that they're actually going to park the cars in here, but we're going to just have to wait and see. It just doesn't make sense to me why they're building in this waiting area. But like I said, we're going to figure it out. Hey Bear, I heard you live in Queen Creek. Yes, that is a fact. That is a fact. I am in there right now. You were looking at Queen Creek space right here. All right, so in this first row, now in the past when I've counted these, there's usually 20 to 22 cars if they fill every row. So I'm kind of looking at these as about 20 cars in a row. If we look, let's see if we can find any of these that are different from the others. These all look the same. Not missing the trim from the back, and I don't see any solid roofs on this one. So we're going to move over to this. And up here we have a solid roof car. And here's another one right here. And let's see, I know there was at least one car that was missing that trim piece. And it was a black one, if we can find it. It's so hard to find. You're looking at the same exact thing. But there is one car in here missing that trim piece, and maybe it's in the next sections. No, it's definitely not in the next section. All these cars have them. Maybe it was in the last section. But yeah, there is one car missing that trim piece, at least one. So I don't know if it's just the trim or if they got something new going on. Okay. Trying to find that one car. Yeah, it was out here and now I've lost it. See, do a little zoom. Guess it doesn't matter that much, but there is a car out here missing a piece of trim. And from what Peter says, it just may well be missing the trim and it will be coming in later. I don't quite understand why like that one car would be missing a piece of trim. And they're still producing cars and they have that trim. So it's a little bit of a head scratcher. Okay, iMelt says second car from the bottom. He found it. So there it is. Yep, second car from the bottom. All right, let's bring it in. All right, so it's missing this piece right here. This piece right here is not on this car, but just from our angle, it looks like it looks natural, except for that little line right there. So let's see. Let me go back here. We've got some comments. Let's see. We're going to let this roll for a little bit. Let's see. Gravity Pilot, maybe. Sun damage. And well, iMill says cars are meant to be outside. They shouldn't be getting sun damage, and that's true. I mean, we see a lot of sun damaged cars out here in Arizona. Older Hondas and Fords and things like that, but we're talking 10, 15-year-old cars. These cars should be able to sit in the sun. They're being made in Arizona. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is a big sponsor. They get just as hot as us, if not hotter. Let's see. Dave says, awesome, building a home there. Let's see. I'll let you guys look at this for a second. All right, there you guys can see a Lucid Air just coming out of the car wash there. He's still dripping. Had to take care of someone making obnoxious comments, so I just had to take care of that guy. So sorry about being off there for a moment. Top row, second from the left. Oh, so there was another one. So up here by the building, there you can obviously see there's a whole lot more cars. Let's get that... let's slow that down for people like Barry who are counting cars. All right, so there's another solid roof right there. So there's at least 3 solid roof cars out here. Yeah, so there's a lot of cars. Anybody counting? And they're digging some ditches. That's right over by the stamping building, which is just next to where all the cars are. So that's quite a few cars there. Let's zoom that in just a little bit more so we can see them all at once. Here, let's see here. So we've got all these down here. We've got probably 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120 right there. Up here, this is packed full of cars, and then we have this section down here. So if anybody wants to go back and pause it when we were zoomed in, hey, get us some numbers. But there are a lot. Barry Short says, I know my GT is not in that lot. My delivery advisor told me my car is not in production yet, but should be soon. All right. Any quantum grays? We did see a gray car. I think on Monday we saw it's a dark gray car or a light or a silver. I'm not sure, but it looked like it was definitely a gray car out there. There haven't been that many. Alex says, I think the glass is super tinted at the top and it fades into the dark black car. so you can't tell it's a solid top, but I think it is. Well, the thing is, on those solid top cars, they don't have that silver trim that goes up the roof rail and around the back. So any solid roof car is going to lack that. And all those solid roof cars, I think, have been white. Okay. I got another person here. Probably the same guy. Time to get rid of him. I don't know what the issue is with this guy. The cameras in the cars do not have the ability to record. Not happy about that. Yeah, it seems like a fairly simple thing to do. And as far as I know, Tesla's the only one that's doing it. There's that cup building. There's the view of the docks from the other side. Lily May's here reporting in. Lily May reporting for duty. Okay. So here we are. We're back over the Tractor Supply Company warehouse. They don't seem to have a problem with us flying over there. I don't know, probably because I spend a lot of money there. I buy stuff. Band, we can do it. Oh, I already got him. Smash that subscribe button. Thank you, Barry. I appreciate you supporting the channel like that. We got 64 likes and 75 viewers, so that's pretty cool. So we're coming up on the area. I'm going to just remind everybody right here on the left is where the railroad track's going to come down. It's going to go down this area right here and go this way and then straight down south out of the site, and it's going to have a spur coming off of it. Barry Schwartz said his GT is quantum gray, but I've seen many delivered in the past month. I've seen them too. We just don't see a lot in the lot often. We don't see a lot sitting in the lot, if that makes any sense. Sudhir asks, how do you like driving the Lucid? Is it smoother and luxurious than Tesla? That's your opinion, please. The Lucid Air GT had a lot more buttons and a lot more gizmos, and it had a lot more going on as far as the dashboard and the seats and things like that. So that part, it's got the seat massager, which I've never, I've never seen one that I like. Or seen one that's like, oh wow, this is great, this is going to save my back. So I think both cars are equally fast, like comparing it to a Model S. I haven't driven a Model S Plaid. My Model S came in about 2 weeks ago, so I don't have both cars here. One was a rental and the other one, is mine. So they've both got their pros and cons, and I don't think I'd be disappointed to drive either car, except for my one thing where I still have to work out how exactly to get in the Lucid without hitting my head. Barry Shore says the reds are being delivered way faster than the other colors from what I see. Gray is the slowest so far. My Pure is also red, by the way. Velvet something or another, or what I forget. Zenith red. The 11-year-old army of Tesla fanboys are at it again. Yeah, well, they're just coming here to watch us move dirt around, because that's what Lucid is doing. Remember, just moving a lot of dirt around. So I think let me see something here. I'm going to go back for a second. The guy here in this truck right here stopped and talked and said that he's watched the flyovers and he appreciates the videos. So he was a real nice guy. He's delivering dirt there or whatever he's doing. So that was fun. It's always fun when someone comes by and they're friendly. Sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes we just get security just like sits up 100 yards from us with like their telescopic lens watching to see like what we're possibly going to do. Oh jeez, here we go again. I guess I should hide this from 12-year-olds. I'd let that guy talk if he made a big super chat. I'd let him stick around. I'd stop blocking his comments. So feel free if you want to stick around and say whatever you want. Just a huge super chat. I promise I'll keep you around. Let's see. Navin says, I don't know about the Zenith Red. They've now changed my VIN date by 1.5 months. I confirm March 23rd and live in Scottsdale. If you're talking about R9, yeah, he did just get himself banned. I don't know who he is. What was he typing? Was he just being obnoxious? Because I banned him. Thank you, Barry. He put nice job. That was not the guy. All right. Let's see. On-hide user. Let's see what he was saying. All right. Thank you, Barry Schwartz, for the super chat. I appreciate that. We're going to just restart this while we chit-chat a little bit more. So if anybody came in late and they missed something, they've got something to see. Let's see here. What was this guy putting in here? Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I wasn't reading. I was just looking at the spam, but I put him back in. Don't do that. I can't stop and read every single cryptic message when I'm trying to talk, run the video. If I see someone doing something stupid, like those other guys, yeah, I had to knock them out real quick. So, and especially when it started off the same way with the same first couple of letters, I just don't want to expose people to that stuff. I'm just a dude with a bunch of 2020 January 60 C's S and a dream. Okay. Cool. All right. I just vouch. Please tell me you're not one of them. All right. So that was today's flyover. Lots of activity. What do you guys think about the car count? Did anybody stop and count that? Because I'm not. Yeah, I haven't gotten anything from Lucid regarding my Pure, but remember, I ordered it in April. I did get, not that you guys care about this, but I did get my Hyundai Ioniq is supposed to be here probably early next week. I'm waiting for the paperwork. They're supposedly overnighted it with 3-day mail, if that makes any sense. So that's paperwork's supposed to come in today, tomorrow. I send that back. They're going to ship me the car. And my Polestar came in early. It's in Scottsdale, and I'm just getting the paperwork done for that. I could have that in the next couple of days also. So if you guys are interested in seeing a video on the Ioniq 5 or the Polestar, speak up, and we'll see what we can do to get something together. And we also need to do some sort of video on the Model S that just came in. Okay, so Navin's VIN date went from mid-May to mid-June, and now it's early July, just yesterday. Also, not enough comments about the beard. What's wrong with the beard? Alexei says, how many cars did you order? All of them. I've also got a Mach-E on order. That's supposed to be August, but who can tell with because they have some sort of stop sale, so I'm not sure if they're still producing them or if they've fixed the recall issue and they're shipping new ones. I've got that on order. I've got a Silverado EV, which is going to be years out. I got a Cybertruck, which is going to be years out. I also, for fun, put an order in for a Hummer with the tri-motor pickup version, so that's probably going to be a year out. And hey, you never know. I mean, I keep financing for all this stuff. What else? I've got another Hyundai Ioniq 5 that's going to come in like next January. That's a factory order one. So I don't know how many cars I just said. It sounds like something's missing, but I don't know. I tried putting an order in for a Corvette the other day, and they said that they're going to put a $10,000 markup on it. So I said, no thanks, I'll find someone who's not. I'm not that interested in getting a Corvette. Um, and this would go into my fleet, but and it would work, but they're just very expensive, and well, we'll see. Ellie wants to know when I stream next. Well, that's a good segue to start wrapping things up. Our next stream is going to be Monday. It's going to be the Nikola site. We have a Nikola video coming out within an hour or so, and you're not going to believe how many trucks they have out there. That is also very impressive. Stevie B says, "Are you loaded?" I am not. This is all done through my business, and they're all financed. And R9 says, "I seriously wonder what you're doing with all these EVs." And iMelt answers that question: rentals. We rent them out. That's the business of the week that we're doing here. Andre says, "So no Humvee E." No, I've got one on order. I don't know when it will come in. Are you going to buy them all? Do you need them or just for your collection? No, we rent them out on Toro. And so we have 12 vehicles on Toro right now. Out of the 12, 3 of them are EVs. I'm trying to increase the EV percentage because as we go into worse and worse gas prices, and as more people get interested in EVs, they're going to want to rent them over other vehicles. But I still bought a lot of gas powered cars because if somebody wants to drive a Challenger, there's really not an EV two-door sports car that they're looking for that's loud and has a big engine. So there's a market for something like that. We've got a couple minivans, and there's nothing EV that I could get that would replace that, and the minivans do very well. So we're still buying ICE vehicles, but just being very selective and not just piling up a bunch of crappy cars. So we're getting some gas cars that there's a need that can't be filled in the EV market, because 7-seaters like a minivan are needed, and people will rent those. But people will also rent the Hummer, they'll rent the Lucid, they'll rent the Mach-E, so that's what they're there for. Wilden says, what is that big crane for? That big crane is what they're using to lift up the ginormous HVAC units, which I think someone looked it up, and I think it was like 10 tons, something like 20,000 pounds, and it needs a really long reach because they have to get all the way to the center of the factory. Why didn't you order the Lucid GT and the Pure? Well, I ordered the Pure, but there's it's just a money issue. You don't want to get, I'm trying to diversify what I have. A Lucid GT is very expensive, and the Model S is the most expensive car we have on the list. But the Lucid GT would have been more, and it starts getting to the point where it's going to be harder to rent, harder to get credit. And when you look at it, if I could buy 2 or 3 other EVs for $50,000 and get a return on my investment of like 50% a month, then as opposed to one car at $139,000 plus tax, and make 50% on that, on the payment, you're better off with having 3 cars. No one would rent a GT over a Pure. They would, but you're not going to get that much more money for it. So that's part of the problem. You're spending $60,000 more, and you've literally got to make up $1,000 worth of payment on something like that, because you're looking at $60,000, $1,000 worth of payment. So you got to make $1,000 more a month on that car. So yeah, people will rent the GT, but people also rent the Pure. Do you think the Pure will still be pretty quick? I think it will be. I think it's probably going to, I forget what the numbers were, but I still think it's going to be faster than the Ioniq. It's going to be faster than, I think, my Challenger, which is a Scat Pack with the big block. So Marcus came back. He says 280 cars. So somebody finally counted. Thank you, Marcus. Now you get a big old thank you. I appreciate that. What car is your personal go-to car? For me, it's my Model Y. which is actually still in the shop because it got damaged on a rental. Not the renter's fault. It got hit by a windstorm and lawn furniture landed all over the top of it. Did $11,000 worth of damage. So that's been off for the last 3 weeks. But my Model Y. My wife's got the S. It used to be the 3, but when the S came in, that's now her go-to car. We will go to the electric cars before we go to any of the gas cars, because when we send them out on a rental, we have to fill up the gas tank if it's been used, and which means that I had to fill up a F-250 this morning because that truck went out, and I had to put in $70 worth of gas. And all I did was I had to bring an RV somewhere 20 miles, and I drove back 20 miles, and somehow I managed to have to put in $70, $80 worth of gas. So whenever we can, we drive the electric cars. So is Turo a rent-a-car business? Never heard of it here in California. It's very big in California, and it's Turo. So you might want to take a look at that. You might be able to find a Lucid to rent in California. It might cost you $200 or more a day, but if you want to actually drive the car, and instead of just a test drive, you can actually drive the car. Mike says, "Hi Bear, love your videos. I've been following you for a while. Good work." Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. And how do I afford all the cars? Through business financing. I've had this business for a number of years, so it's established. We used to just do RVs, but then we added in the cars. But I've been renting RVs for 10 years, and the 2 RVs that we have now, I've had one for 9 months, and I spent 2 nights in that one. The other one I've had for a year and a half, and I've spent 1 night in that one. But occasionally I go camping with my friends when they're available, and decided a long time ago that let's recoup the cost of this and start renting them out. Have you found some special inside stuff at Lucid Review? No, I have not. John, let's go. Lucid 73 in the front, 2 lanes about 50 right side, 88 on the left, middle, 36 in the front. Yeah, a lot of cars there. But how many of these cars are covered, ready for delivery? Well, the amount of cars that are covered is probably 20 to 25. So I don't know what the logic is. They put cars that they mix them up. Some are covered, some aren't. Not sure what the reasoning is. No one from Lucid really talks to me. I don't really get much inside information. Sometimes I'll have a construction person tell me something, but from last time I heard from somebody from Lucid, which was a long time ago, I think they were told not to talk to me specifically. I'm not here to get a scoop and give out secrets. I'm here to just show you guys what's going on. Out of all those cars, do you think you will daily the Pure? No, I don't. I don't think I'll daily the Pure because I just have too much trouble getting in and out. And if the car's not rented, and I will drive an EV before I drive any of the gas cars unless I have a need, like the F-250 to tow something, or we have to deliver them. But that's not using it as a daily driver. Dom Worrell, I'm not an investor in Lucid or Nikola, but I like to watch their construction videos. Yeah, and that's I'm the same way. I mean, as far as I like watching the construction videos, I like to see things being built over time. I've sat there and watched construction videos of time lapse, and sometimes I'm like, why am I still watching this? But it's just interesting. It's one of those things that's interesting to me. 35 cars are covered, but cars also get delivered from each studio. True. Nicholas, understandable. How tall are you? I'm 6'4", so getting into the Lucid with that A-pillar is a little awkward for me, and I could probably fix it, but I need more time in a Lucid to get the chair set right and get the climbing in and out part right. It's sort of like if you ever watch me get in and out of a Corvette, it's just hilarious because it's like I'm almost crawling out because I can't get my leg out and then stand up. So it's like putting my hands down on the ground and then just crawling out. Alexi says, I drove test drove a GT, great car, but the right magnet of the courtesy cover of the passenger seat was weak. Fit and finish issue, I don't know. Yeah, could be. Heady out's here. Says, hey, Bear. All right, we are going to get ready to wrap this up soon. You guys got any other questions, comments, concerns, throw it out into the chat, and we will chat about it before we go. And yeah, never seen that many cars here. So let's see, 73, then 50, 88, 35, 36 in the front. I don't know what the total is. I know that Marcus said that there's 280 cars, but yeah, there are a lot of cars. Hopefully, whatever is the holdup will be removed. Google Maps updated the Lucid site at the beginning of this year. I think I actually saw that a while ago, but it wasn't as noteworthy as we were. I think I was looking at it because I was comparing the site plans. Thanks for answering. What's your Patreon link? My Patreon link is actually in the description. It's just if you go to Patreon and you look up Bear's Workshop. And thank you for asking that. Dave says, thanks for all you do, Bear. You're welcome. IML says, Patreon link in the description. All right. So I think we're going to cut it here. I like the only question that came up was, what's my Patreon link? I appreciate that. We did get 2 new Patreons, Bill Kerr and My Charge EV or something like that. I messed up the name there. Wait a minute. I got to get that for you guys because I want to thank the 2 new Patreons. I just didn't have that in front of me. And it was Bill Kerr, who I think got his Lucid a couple weeks ago. And I'm running pretty slow on this internet here. My Charged EV. I want to thank both of them for becoming patrons. I appreciate it. All right, and it looks like the Patreon link is not there. I will get that taken care of here in seconds. So if you refresh, that will be there. So give me about 5 minutes. I want to thank everyone for being here. Good to see you, Ellie. Bye, Bear, Mr. Bugs, Liv, and Nicola. I'll leave the comments open so you guys got anything to say. I have another couple of minutes.